So today I'm going to be telling you all about my first birth and when I became a mom and my experience with birth. Shaking. I was shaking like this. This is also a collaboration with other moms, so make sure you check out in the description box, and right in there will be a playlist so you can listen to other moms' stories and kind of understand what we went through when we became moms. Okay, so my firstborn was 10 years ago, January 14th, and he was a boy. His name was Eli Cade, and he was almost gonna be a Caden. That was gonna be his first name, but the more we said it, the more we just weren't feeling it anymore, and so we really liked Eli, but I liked the name Cade, and we felt like it was more for a middle name, so that's what we decided on. Well, I was due January 13th of 2008, and I actually had Eli the day after. I started labor the day before my due date. So yes, I was in labor with Eli. He was born on a Monday at 2:36 p.m. I was in labor for 48 hours with him. That's over 48 hours, because he was like 48 and a half hours or so. It was a long time, but that's not even like the whole start of my whole story. Basically, I started pushing around like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like a nurse helping me. And first off, I will start with the epidural. I chose to do an epidural, because I wanted to enjoy my experience of becoming a mom. I really think some part of me thinks that it didn't help with me trying to deliver Eli. I think it kind of helped me not be able to give him the final real push that I needed to do. They poked me like 20 times when I needed an epidural. My back's like slightly curved, they said, and so they tried and tried. That wasn't really fun because you could actually feel it. It wasn't, I don't know what he was doing, but it made me kind of nervous, and I think it like threw off everything just going downhill ever since then. We got to the hospital at midnight, and then I had around 8 o'clock I started having to do pushing. And the lady's like, oh, the max you'll do is like 3 hours. I swear, it's only going to be like 3 hours. And I'm like, okay, I know, I'm hoping I don't have to do that, but okay. And so then, I was trying and pushing, and she said she could see the top of his head, and she said, oh, he's got blonde hair, and I'm thinking, what? Like, his dad's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I never imagined having kids, let alone 4 kids with blonde hair and blue eyes, because I have dark everything, dark eyes, naturally dark hair. It looks like a mess today, but well. I was like, okay, so that gave me more determination to kind of pop that sucker out. We always knew that Eli was going to be big, but I think the hardest part that took a play in the delivery part of it is Eli was born with club feet, and both of his feet were completely curved in. I will pop a picture right up here so that you can see a picture of what he looked like after he was born. And his feet were curved in, and he had to have casts and surgeries, a couple surgeries, and maybe me and him will talk about that sometime when he feels comfortable to. And pushing. My doctor was not there because she had like a family emergency thing going on, and so that she couldn't be there. And so what happened was, she came in thinking I was going to be all done, and she could see, she checked on me when I first started pushing, and then she left, and she found out I was still pushing. I think she came when I was like on my 5th hour of pushing. Yes, 5th hour of pushing. 1 hour they were manually trying to move. I had probably about 30 people in the room trying to help with whatever we could help with, but I literally had like 2 hands and trying to move him, and he would move back. His head got stuck in my pelvis, and that was like the main thing, and then his heartbeat, and plus he had a high sugar level when he was born, so he was in the NICU for a little bit after he was born. My doctor came in and she said, and it was another hour of forceps too. Let me tell you, I was sore. Afterwards, I was sore, and he came out with little scrapes and bumps all over his face, and I felt so bad for him. So I pushed for 5.5 hours trying to get him out, and my doctor was so upset. She said, get her in the OR right now. She needs a C-section. There's no reason. My body for hours was shaking. I was shaking like this. I'm not kidding you. I was shaking. My body was in shock. And so I ended up needing a C-section. C-section was, I'll tell you, when you have to have emergency C-section, I think the pain is so, and being the first, I think the pain is so much more different when you have a schedule, because all my girls, I had to have scheduled C-sections. And I think the first, besides that, I was sore, like, all down there. I don't know. It was different than my scheduled, because they also give you morphine when you get a scheduled. That kind of helps with the pain for the first day, and it really does help. It really makes a difference. Where with Eli, I didn't have any of that, and it was completely different. After C-section, I was very sore. It is painful, but everybody's tolerance is different, and everybody's bodies react differently. Each C-section I did have, each of them were different. Each of them, the pain level was different. Each of them was the process of, eliminating everything on your body from having anesthesia and everything was completely different. I really think it just depends on the whole situation and all that stuff. So I think the hardest part for me for a C-section was when they had to push down on my stomach to try to get excess, stuff from the baby inside, all that excess stuff, and that hurt, especially with Eli. I was so passing out and didn't know what was going on because I was so tired and so exhausted from pushing for 5.5 hours. He was 9 pounds and 6.5 ounces, and he was 24 inches long. So that's another reason why he probably got stuck. And his head is like 100% tile. He had a big head. So all in all, I think it was bound to happen. But it helped me prepare for all the other girls' C-sections, and it became a lot easier in the whole process. Becoming a mom was an amazing thing. When I came back from having him and a little bit in recovery, my husband's like, I don't blame you if you don't want to have any more. Because Micah's was all planned out and all, scheduled. And she was tinier. She was much tinier, like a pound tinier. Then I had the twins, and the twins would have had to be a C-section anyways. So it helped me in a way, but I just didn't like the process of them making me push for so long and not just doing a C-section with my body being in shock and everything like that, and it still kind of bothers me. Never, ever, ever went to that hospital again. I will tell you that much. I went to different hospitals for all my kids, and I had better experiences at my other pregnancies, and they were two different hospitals. Becoming a mom was a big adjustment, and just doing all the feedings and all that and trying to heal, and just it was different, and it is hard when you had a C-section and you don't want to move and do anything like that, and you're so sore and it's new. I'm not trying to scare anybody that's had a C-section, because it's really not that bad. You gotta believe in yourself, and you just gotta get up, and there's people there that will help you with the pain. They do help you with the pain. FYI, they do. So, that is my story of my birth story of Eli Cade, and, he is a big, growing, wanting to eat all the time 10-year-old, and he's turning into be a really, really cool kid. I love just sitting there having conversations and joking around with him. So I hope he keeps that good head on his shoulders, and it's Mother's Day this weekend, and I just want to say thank you to him for making me a mom. So again, thank you for watching, and make sure you hit subscribe so you can see more of our videos. We have a lot of good plans for new videos coming up. So also check the description down below and check out the playlist. Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy Mother's Day.